The Northern Territory has recorded no new cases of COVID-19 overnight. The cluster remains at 3 cases, which is good news. Today, I can also reveal we know the source of the cluster, which is very good news. Case 3, the 21-year-old female I told you about yesterday, is now confirmed as the primary infection case. This led to the infection of the 26-year-old male index case. This means that by the strict definition of community transmission, there has been no community transmission that we know about. The Northern Territory remains community transmission free. Case 3 lied on her border entry form and has been issued an infringement notice following 5 hours of interviews with detectives over the past 24 hours. We now know that before arriving in Darwin, she spent time in Melbourne, which is almost certainly where she contracted the virus. The case flew from Cairns to Adelaide before driving to Melbourne on October 21 and spending 4 days in Victoria. She drove back to Adelaide on October 25, then flew back to Cairns, and then flew to Darwin on October 29. South Australian and Queensland officials are aware, and we will assist them in their inquiries. These actions have put the Territory at risk. They forced Catherine into lockdown and forced Catherine businesses to shut. While there were compassionate reasons for her decision to visit Victoria, there were not compassionate reasons for lying to the Territory and coming here from a hotspot. She's been issued a $5,024 fine, and she'll also pay for a $2,500 stay at Howard Springs. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Don't lie. Don't be selfish. Think of others. She'll pay because she lied to officials. I want to be clear. If you have caught COVID, if you are a close contact and are required to go to the Centre for National Resilience, we will not be charging. It is a public health measure. Please do not hesitate on being tested for fear of paying at Howard Springs. Because of this individual, we are now expanding our investigation in Greater Darwin, and there are now additional exposure sites. I'll go through these shortly. So while it's great that we know where this outbreak came from and everything's looking good for Greater Darwin, we are going to have to expand the lockout by an additional 24 hours to allow us to do the contact tracing and testing work we need. So the Greater Darwin lockout has been extended till midnight tomorrow night. I'll run through the new exposure sites for Greater Darwin now. These are all casual contact sites. If you're at any of these sites, you need to test and isolate until you receive your negative result. These sites can change, so please keep checking coronavirus.nt.gov.au. Cotton on Casuarina, November 3, 4 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Harvest Pressed Juice, Darwin, November 3, 3:20 p.m. Delaney's Country and Western Store, November 3, 2:30 to 3 p.m. Coles Mitchell Street, Darwin, November 1, 3:20 to 3:35 p.m. Shenanigans, Darwin, October 31, 8:10 to 9:45 p.m. Tap Bar, Darwin, October 31, 8 p.m. to 9:12 p.m. Mindle Beach Casino, October 29, 7:30 p.m. to 9:20 p.m. Monsoon's nightclub has now been upgraded from a site of concern to an official exposure site, and there are 2 exposure windows. October 29 from 10 p.m. that night to 1:30 a.m. the following morning, and on October 31 from 7:30 p.m. to 8:50 p.m. We've also made Jetstar flight JQ920 from Cairns to Darwin on October 29 an exposure site, and there are 8 close contacts and 5 from that flight who remain in the Territory. 3 of those have been contacted and are isolating. Police are working to track down the remaining 2.